Today's technique on Stamp TV is called wood graining, and I'm going to show you two different ways to create beautiful wood grained effects. Now, to do this technique, you should have a piece of scratch paper on your tabletop to protect the surface. And I'm going to begin by using a quarter sheet of mustard colored cardstock. The actual cardstock that I've chosen for this technique is by Stampin' Up, and it's called More Mustard. It's a great base color for wood graining. And I'm going to use a color box pigment stamp pad in cream white. Now you can use either white or cream white. Either one will look great. And I'm going to use a brown dye ink pad. And the one I've chosen to use is by Vivid. Vivid makes the most beautiful brown dye ink pad that's perfect for wood graining. It gives you the most beautiful wood grained effect. So to begin the technique, I'm going to take my cream white pigment ink and I'm going to drag it down my piece of cardstock. And I'm going to just make some creamy white streak lines. Turn it over and do the other side. And don't worry if it looks streaky or if it looks kind of gloppy in one spot. That's okay. It'll come out great. Next, I'm going to take my brown ink pad and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to drag two lines down each side of the cardstock. And you want to hold your ink pad a little bit flat. You don't want to hold it too much on an angle, because then you're just going to get the little rim of the ink pad. You want to have it a little bit more flat, so you can see I've done this before, so you can see where about to there on the ink pad you want to press that much down. And you may want to have a special brown ink pad just for this technique, because as you can see, the white will get on your brown. Okay, so I'm going to do two nice flat lines going down. There's one, and I'm going to turn it. And two. And as you can see, that line going down the center where the two strips of brown meat makes it look like a plank of wood. So now that piece of cardstock is all ready to be popped right onto a card, and it's a beautiful wood grain background. But I'm going to show you another technique that I discovered when I got my Score Pal. I love my Score Pal because it makes beautiful creases in my cards. But there's all kinds of other things you can do with a Score Pal. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create lines on my card, on my piece of cardstock, that's going to make it look like planks of wood in a floor, like a hardwood floor. So I have a piece of cardstock that's cut 4 1/4 inches long. I mean 5 1/2 inches long by 4 inches across. And I'm going to begin by scoring down 1 inch, 2 inches, and 3 inches. And as you can see, I've created those bevels. Now usually when you do scoring or embossing, you want your raised edge to show, but in this case you want your indented edge to show on your card. Now I'm going to pull this down just a little bit away so I can see where my top line is, and I'm going to score this at 1 inch just to the line, like that. I'm going to score it at 3 inches. I'm just going to find my score line. There. I'm going to go ahead and score this at 2 inches, and I'll just follow that line up and try to find the indent. Like that. And then I'm going to score it at 4 1/2 inches, so I can actually do that and work my way up from there. So now I've created planks of wood, or at least spaces that will look like planks of wood once I wood grain this piece of cardstock. Now let me get my scratch paper back again, since I'm going to make a mess. Now, I'm going to use the white, cream white again, and I'm going to do the same drag down. And you're going to start to see those lines come through a lot better now once I get this ink on here. So There, I've gone ahead and dragged my white, and now I'm going to drag my brown ink. Same way I did as my first piece. Just going to come right down like that. And again on the other side. And don't worry if you get a few little smeary marks in there, because that's how real wood looks. And now I've created a wood grained effect that looks like a piece of hardwood floor. Now, even though using shades of brown creates a natural wood tone, try this technique with hunter green, brick red, and colonial blue to create wood grains in different colors. Wood graining is a great background technique for floral cards, nature cards, and it makes a wonderful background for masculine cards.